guys, it's Alexa, and today I'm going to be sharing my library book haul. Over the past 2 months, I borrowed quite a few books from the library, and while I've managed to read and return some of them, I still have a whole bunch over here to show you guys, so I thought I would do that today. I think this is the first time I'm going to be doing like an official separate library haul video, so yay! Alright, let's get started because there's quite a few titles. The first set of books I'm going to show you, and yes, I said set, are actually volumes in a manga series that I'm reading. This series was recommended to me by Kristen of Super Space Chick, and I'm really enjoying it. I've read the first few volumes and gotten really invested in the story, so I had to get the rest. And that is Nana, and the series is by Aizawa, and I have volumes 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Because for some reason the library does not have volume 5, so I'm gonna have to find some other way to acquire it. Anyway, this manga series is about two girls named Nana, and they both find themselves in Tokyo and they somehow end up being roommates, and it's weird because they're both very different people, but somehow it works. And I'm really enjoying the series. I don't know, I think it's very funny. I also find that like the sad parts are really sad to me, possibly because I'm so invested in these characters. Yeah. Really enjoying it. I will just link to Kristen's video as well because she explains it way better than I do. And yeah, so I will be reading the series very soon. I read these really fast too because they're not very long. The next book that I will be showing you guys is Scarlet Epstein Hates It Here by Anna Breslaw, which is basically about a girl named Scarlet who writes fan fiction inspired by her favorite TV show. At least that's what I remember it being about. And as someone who used to write and read fan fiction voraciously, still occasionally does, I think I'm gonna really enjoy this one. I believe C of the novel Hermit really enjoyed this one, which is how it got on my radar, and I look forward to reading it myself. The next book that I'm sharing with you guys is The First Time She Drowned by Carrie Kletter, and this is basically about a girl named Cassie who has been checked into a mental institution, a psychological ward, all her life, and at the age of 18 she's finally free to go, but she has to deal with the aftermath of all those years spent in the institution when she didn't necessarily have to be. And I think it sounds really interesting because it's something that I don't think I've read a lot about, and I'm excited to read it. Plus, I just love this cover and the colors on it. They're very pretty. The next book seems like a perfect summer read, and that book is The New Guy and Other Senior Year Distractions, and it's basically about a main character who pretty much has her entire life planned for her senior year. Like, I believe she's editor-in-chief of her newspaper, she kind of knows what she's going to be doing, and then all her plans get derailed because there's a new guy at school named Alex Powell who pretty much comes out of nowhere and messes up everything she's planned, and I think that just sounds delightful because it sounds like the perfect contemporary summer read for me, so can't wait to check this one out as well. The next book is one that I've heard a lot about, and that book is If I Was Your Girl by Meredith Russo. And the main thing that you need to know about this book, which I'm sure you've seen other people say, is that it's written about a trans main character, written by a trans author, and the model on the cover is also a trans person. And I think that this will definitely be the first book I've read about someone who's transgender, and I've heard a lot of good things about it. I know my friend Grace of Words Like Silver really enjoyed it, and I hope I love it as much as she does. Next, we have a book that I heard about from Monica, and that book is Every Heart a Doorway by Shannon McGuire, and it's basically about this place that's sort of like rehab for kids who have found themselves magically transported to other worlds, and that just sounds utterly fascinating to me, so I knew I had to grab this one. It is really short, like Monica said, and I've heard that, and I remember that she really enjoyed it. I know that Cece of Problems with a Book Nerd really enjoyed it, so I hope I enjoyed it as much as they do. The next book I've heard about from Julie, who tweets at Daily Julianne, and from Tiffany I'm about to read actually, and this book is These Vicious Masks by Taryn Schenker and Kelly Zekas, and basically it's Pride and Prejudice meets not zombies, what am I talking about? Pride and Prejudice meets X-Men. And I think that the comp alone makes it sound really fascinating. I particularly love reading about this time period, so it'll be fun. And I hope I fall in love with it as much as they both did. The next book is one I heard about because of Morgan from Gone with the Words and Lindsay from Bring My Books, and that book is Rook by Sharon Cameron, and it's basically another sort of fantasy-ish, I guess, historical fiction novel, and it's basically about two characters, a character named Sophie who is set to have this arranged marriage to save her family from financial ruin, and another character who is just known as the Red Rook, who basically is saving innocent people at a time of revolution in France. And obviously it sounds like their paths are gonna cross, and it sounds like there's the potential for a romance, and I'm all in for that. So I can't wait to check this out for myself. The next book is actually one that my friend Kelly of Belle of the Literati has mentioned to me a couple of times, and that's Brazen by Catherine Longshore, and it's basically about Mary Howard, who you guys might know from actual history. And in this book, she falls in love with someone that she's not supposed to, and yeah, basically it's the usual when it comes to this particular time period. Court intrigue, power plays, forbidden romance. I mean, can't go wrong, really. The next book that I'm going to show you is our Flights of Fantasy book club pick for July, and that book is Kushiel's Dart by Jacqueline Carey, and this is the first book in Phaedra's trilogy, although I think there's a total of 6 books. Yeah. You can hear that Mackie has actually already read the series, and his review is the reason why Rachel and I decided to include it as one of our Flights of Fantasy book club picks. And I really don't know much about this book.
Phaedra's awesome.
Okay. Main character's Phaedra?
She's a hero.
Okay, Phaedra's the main character, and what's the term for her?
She is an Anguisette.
She's an Anguisette, and what exactly does that mean? Do you want to elaborate?
An Anguisette is someone who happens to be very receptive to pain.
Okay.
That's the PG version.
Okay. And I'm pretty sure that if I remember correctly, you mentioned there's something, there is romance, but there's also a lot of court intrigue in the series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming, because that's what it sounds like. Ooh, paper. Anyway, we will be reading this for Flights of Fantasy this month, and if we enjoy the first book, we'll probably finish the other 2 books in the first trilogy. So yeah, if you guys feel like checking it out with us, we would love that, and we will be talking about it next month. Ooh, the stack is gonna fall over. It's not real balanced because the tiny books are at the bottom, which is terrible. Anyway, the next book that I have to show you guys is Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour, and I really think that the cover looks very dreamy and very summery. It's basically about the main character who is in LA for a summer, I think, or after graduation, and she's working on a Hollywood movie set. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can remember about it, aside from the fact that it also features an FF romance, which I don't read a lot of, so that'll be fun. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this one. The next book that I have to show you is actually one I picked up because of Kristen of Super Space Chick, who really enjoyed it, and that book is Wild Swans by Jessica Spotswood, and this is basically the story of a girl who is part of a family where the females have a curse sort of set on them, and she's trying to make peace with that during the summer before her senior year of high school. And it sounds really good. It looks really short too, so this is probably going to be a quick read once I start reading it. The next 2 books are part of the same series, and they were recommended to me by Kelly of Belle of the Literati. And I've actually read the other historical fiction series by this author and really enjoyed it. And this series is The Virgin's Daughter and The Virgin's Spy by Laura Anderson, and the 3rd book in the series is coming out, I think, July 12th. Anyway, it's another historical alternate history sort of series. I don't know how to describe it. And it's basically about the daughter of Queen Elizabeth. And yeah, that's pretty much all I know about it. All I need to know is that Kelly really enjoyed it, loves it even more than the Boleyn trilogy, which I read and loved last year. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this one. Next book is a series starter, and that book is Lux by Anna Godberson, and this, Deluxe actually, by Anna Godberson, and this one I picked up because of Tiffany of About to Read, and it's basically Gossip Girl set in the 1920s, if I remember correctly, and that just sounds fantastic. And I really like this cover as well because of the dress, and hopefully I enjoy it. The next book I have to show you is one I picked up on the recommendation of my friend Laura, who blogs at Scribbles and Wanderlust, and that book is Read Jane by Patricia Park, and it's basically a retelling of Jane Eyre set in New York City, and the main character is Korean American, and I think that combination just sounds fantastic. And I've never read Jane Eyre, but I do want to read this, and Laura assures me that I do not have to have had read Jane Eyre before I read this one. The last 2 books that I have to show you are going to be familiar to many of you because a lot of booktubers and bloggers have been talking about it, and those books are The Wrath of the Dawn and The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Ahdieh. And I admittedly did not super love the first book. I've read it before, you guys know how I feel about it. I liked it, but I didn't love it. But I've heard the second book is really, really good, so I thought I would give it another chance because it might have just been a case of the timing or like how I was feeling then. So we shall see. I will be reading these really soon and hopefully telling you guys what I think. Those are all the books in my library haul from the past 2 months. Hopefully I get around to reading more of them soon, hopefully, or else I will just have to return them unread, which is really sad, and I hope will not be the case. Anyway, have you borrowed anything good from the library lately? Have you been reading anything good lately? I would love to know. Just let me know in the comments. And if you want to find me elsewhere online, all of my social media links are down below. And I would love it if you gave this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And that's pretty much it for now. I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye!